Okay, let's dive into this. Sooner or later, pretty much every single solar power user hits the exact same wall. You realize you just need more storage. And look, it's a great problem to have, right? It means you're using your system. But the solution? Well, it's not nearly as simple as it looks. You've probably been there. You're looking at your system, maybe checking your usage on an app, and the thought just hits you. Man, I just need a little more juice to get through the night, or, to handle a few cloudy days in a row. It is a totally universal feeling for anyone living off-grid or just trying to maximize their solar.
And naturally, the most obvious, the most straightforward solution just pops right into your head. It feels like basic math, doesn't it? More batteries equals more power. Simple.
Yep, we've all had this thought. I'll just grab another battery, maybe two, wire 'em in, and boom, double my capacity. On the surface, it makes perfect logical sense. But, and this is a huge but, here is the critical point that so many people miss. That simple act, if you do it the wrong way, can kick off a nasty chain reaction that silently starts to degrade and ultimately destroy both your old and your brand new batteries. It's a really expensive mistake just hiding there in plain sight. All right, so to avoid that trap, we've got to understand what's really going on inside that battery bank. See, it's not just about adding more capacity, it's about managing a really delicate electrical balance. And the truth is, old and new batteries, they really don't play nice together. They actually fight each other. First things first, we have to completely reframe how we think about a battery. It is not just some passive bucket that you pour energy into and pull it out of. No, it's a dynamic, living chemical system. And each one has its own unique personality and its own characteristics. So every single battery, whether it's 1 day old or 5 years old, has its own unique profile. And this is defined by things like its internal resistance, its age, and its specific charging behavior. Now, when you connect them all together in parallel, you're basically forcing all these different personalities to act as a single unit. And if those profiles don't match up, that's when they start to fight. So let's get into the actual science of what this imbalance looks like. It all boils down to one crucial, totally invisible property that every battery has. And this is it. This is the key right here, internal resistance. The best way to think of it is like friction, but for electricity. Now, as a battery gets older and it degrades from use, its internal resistance goes up. It just gets harder and harder for that electrical current to flow in and out. A brand new battery, on the other hand, has super low resistance. It's like a freshly paved highway. Okay, so here's the really bad part. We all know electricity follows the path of least resistance, right? Well, that means the new, shiny, low-resistance battery ends up taking on most of the load. It does all the hard work, charging and discharging, while the old, high-resistance battery just kind of lags behind. This crazy imbalance forces your brand new battery to age way, way faster, basically killing itself just to try and compensate for the weaker, older one. It's a total waste. So that slow degradation, that's kind of the long-term problem, but you know what? There is a moment of immediate, serious danger, and it happens the literal instant you connect that new battery to your old bank. See, if your old bank and your new battery have even a slightly different voltage level, a massive, and I mean massive, amount of current is going to rush from the higher voltage one to the lower one to try and equalize. We're talking a surge so powerful, it can create sparks, melt the insulation right off your cables, and put incredible stress on the guts of the batteries. And for all you lithium users out there, this can instantly trip or even fry the battery management system. That's the battery's brain, the BMS. It's a catastrophic event.
Okay, that's the problem. It sounds pretty serious, I know, but it is totally manageable. So, how do we do this the right way? Let's walk through the exact method, step by step, for a safe and effective expansion.
And you know what? It really just boils down to these 4 essential steps. If you follow these, you're not just tacking on more batteries. You're actually creating a balanced, harmonious system that's going to last you for years to come. Step 1, and this one is absolutely non-negotiable. You have to use the exact same battery chemistry. I'm serious. Never mix lead acid with lithium or even different types of lead acid, like an AGM and a flooded battery. They have fundamentally different voltage profiles and charging needs. Trying to mix them is it's a recipe for absolute failure. Don't do it.
All right, step 2. This one directly prevents that scary high current surge we were just talking about. And the process is actually really simple. You just need to get both your existing bank and your new batteries to a full 100% charge, but do it separately. Then, this is important, let them both sit for a few hours to let the surface charge settle down. Get out your multimeter, measure their voltage. They need to be almost identical before you even think about making that final connection.
Now, how you physically wire them together is just as important. The most common method you'll see online, daisy chaining, is actually a huge mistake. It causes the batteries closest to your inverter or loads to do way more work. The right way, the good way, is to use bus bars. This creates one central connection point, and if you use cables of the exact same length from each battery to the bus bar, it forces every single battery in your bank to share the load perfectly equally.
And finally, let's talk about safety, protection. Every parallel string of batteries in your bank should have its own fuse. This is so crucial, because if one battery or one string decides to have a really bad day and develops a short, that fuse will blow and instantly isolate it from the rest of the bank. It prevents one bad apple from taking down the entire system.
So now you know the safe method. But hold on, there is one last, really critical question you have to ask yourself before you even go out and buy that new battery. Because, sometimes the right move isn't to expand at all.
Just think of this chart as your final gut check. If your existing battery bank is already several years old, or if you've noticed it's just not holding a charge like it used to, listen, adding a new battery is a bad investment. You will just accelerate the death of the brand new one. In those cases, the smarter, safer, and much more effective long-term solution is to bite the bullet and replace the whole bank. And the same goes for mixing different brands of lithium batteries. Their internal control systems, their BMS, they can actually fight each other and cause all sorts of problems.
So if there's one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. We have to stop thinking about this as just plugging in more storage. It's not. It's an act of electrical engineering. What you're really doing is creating a single cohesive unit, and that requires balance. It requires harmony. And that really brings us to the final thought. Before you make your next upgrade, before you click buy on that new battery, just stop and ask yourself this one question. Is this move truly making my system stronger for the long haul? Or am I just adding a new component that's going to create hidden stress and set the whole thing up for a premature failure? The choice and the health of your system is yours.